Hello, Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, Adab, and good afternoon. Friends, today I'm going to talk about Aries Ascendant, which is the first rising sign. And in a natural horoscope, the first sign is Aries, which is called Mes Lagna. And I'll explain about the natural effect and the nature of Mes Lagna. And remember, before I start that, the Lagna, which is called platform, if you want to make any building or any structures, the strong platform is very, very important. Then the higher building you can make, this can stay for long terms. So if the ascendant's rulers are stronger in your chart, then this is also called your present timing. Your longevity is going to be higher and you will do extremely well in your life. If the ascendant ruler is weaker in your chart, of course you struggle and difficulties take place. It's also depending on other planets as well. But ascendant, which is called Lagna, also called rising sign, is very important, and ruler of ascendant is very important. So Aries Ascendant, the ruler of Aries Ascendant is a Mars. Is hold the first and the eighth house in a natural horoscope. And Mars is the ruler. Mars is called energy. The element of Mars is a fire. Mars has got lots of energy. If that energy is a balance, then it flows in the right directions. If the energy get distracted, imbalance, then of course difficulties takes place. Sometimes people just go to different directions to try to perform, and they are wasting their energy in different directions. So the direction is also important. Jupiter in the Aries chart is the ruler of ninth house. Jupiter, we call it planet for knowledge, intellect, rational mind, and give better directions. The ninth house is important, and ninth house lord is also important, because it could be also 12th house ruler. Jupiter is 12th house ruler and ninth house ruler. 12th house is the house of expenditure. But I will come on to the house of expenditure, but it's important that ninth house. Ninth house represent our luck, also we call house of dharma, and it's a friendly planet to the Mars. So if the Jupiter position is better in your horoscope, you'll do extremely well. Second house ruler is Venus, because Taurus signs on the second house. Second and the seventh house ruler is Venus. So second house represent our family, and seventh house represent the wife or husband. Often Aries people, because they have lots of energy, they do show some attitude. They have got, because of the Mars, they can be aggressive. If the Mars and the Jupiter position is not well placed in the chart, then they play very aggressively. They like to control. They don't like to be controlled by anyone. They like to control others. They like to give order. They don't want to listen any order. So because of this attitude, because of this behavior, it affects the family relationship and the relationship with the wife or husband. And they do have a attitude. If the Mars is well placed, Jupiter control the Mars, then of course they have a very good discipline in their life. They often work in army, police, and CID, engineering. These are their areas. Also, they can involve in a real estate business. They do also restaurants, because in the restaurants, we use a fire, and Mars represents the fire. So any businesses, which I have mentioned, they can do. But their family and personal life can get affected if the Mars position isn't right in the horoscope, depending on other planets, where the Venus is placed. For male horoscope, Venus is important. For female horoscope, Jupiter is important. It's depending on where these two planets are placed in the chart. But generally, Mars people, Aries people have difficulty. For example, if the Mars placed on the 8th or 12th house in their chart, of course they are Mangalik, they do have difficulties in a marital life. So I'll explain about the Mangalik effect in another episode, in another video. Here is just an introduction about Aries Ascendant. The third house ruler is Mercury. Third and the sixth house ruler is Mercury. They make lots of effort, and if they are making lots of effort, of course the effort is important in the life, and also is a ruler of sixth house. Sixth house sometime, because it's the sixth from the first, if the Mercury position isn't very well in the chart, they do have some obstacles, some enemies, because they are outspoken people. So they do have that, some enemies which creates obstacles in their life. But depending on if the sixth house get aspected by Jupiter or Mercury or Venus, then of course it's reduced the negative effect. Then they will not have those issues. Fourth house, the Cancer, which is a friendly sign, is ruled by Moon. Of course, Arian people do get lots of support from the mother and the motherland. They also have more than one properties, and their mother is played a very positive, very supportive role in their life. Mothers, depending on where the moon is placed in the chart, but the fourth house is, represent the mother. If the moon is well placed in your chart, as I mentioned, the mother support, not only mother support, apart from that, if you are involved in a export or import business, you will do extremely well. You can also do milk products, cheese, butters, milk, anything, and overseas business. So moon plays a very positive role in these areas. Fifth house ruler is a Leo. Leo sign The ruler of Leo is the Sun, which is a friendly planet of Mars. They do have a very good educations. They hold the power in the government sector because Sun represents the government sector. They can do extremely well if the Sun is well placed in their chart. If the Sun placed in the Lagna, which is in the ascendant, the Sun become very, very powerful, extremely powerful. And their horoscopes indicates then definitely they hold a higher position in the government sector, and they also get rewarded from the government. Ninth house, as I mentioned, the ruler is Jupiter, which is very positive for Aries. 10th house is the ruler of Saturn. 10th and 11th house, both houses goes to the planet Saturn. And in the 10th house, Mars become excel. And here we have to explain little bit more about the Saturn. If the Saturn position, if the Saturn placed in the Aries, of course it gives some health issues. Because Saturn is the enemy's planet of the Mars, and when it is situated in the ascendant on the first house, which create first house also, as I mentioned, is the platform, is our health, is our body. It does give some effect to the body. As I mentioned, the 10th and 11th house ruler is the Saturn. The 10th house, if the Mars placed in the 10th house, is become excel, of course become a extremely powerful Mars. And if Saturn's placed on the first house, which become debilitated in the first house, of course it causes issues. And people, people who got Aries Ascendant, if their employees, they are working for someone, they're not going to be happy and they can't achieve the maximum because the quality, the nature Aryan people have, this, which is leadership quality. They want to lead, they want to direct, they don't want to listen to order and instructions. So job only in the government sector or real estate is suitable for them. Or they become, if they are engineer, that's also suitable for them. But working in the other sector may not be very suitable for them, and they don't work long. It's also depending on the planetary placement where the other planets are placed. Jupiter, as I mentioned, is the ruler of 9th and the 12th house. Sometime Indian people go abroad for educations, or they do some charitable work because it's a house of expenditure. So they do some charitable work, they spend money in a charity, they likes to help children. So they are very, very kind hearted, and they, because Mars also is a very compassionate planet, it's got aggression, at the same time is a very compassionate planet. It's a very kind planet because Mars runs the emotions, and emotions goes both way. When it's on the top and it's fall down, when it's fall down, often you see the aging people, they get angry quickly and they calm down quickly. So they are very kind-hearted people. If they like someone, of course they can do anything for them. So in donation, in charitable work, they like to help people. So that's the natural characteristic of the Aryan or Aries Ascendant.